Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord Modded, and we are indeed playing with Death Enabled, and we're going to be focusing on companions. And speaking of companions, I decided that I would be an absolute idiot in the first episode and not give my guy, actually not this guy, well, actually that guy too, but let's just ignore him for the moment, because Polmarc is the guy that we want to focus on right now, and as you can see, he has a number of perks to spend. Of course, we also have this guy who has a whole bunch of perks as well. So we're going to be leveling both of them up just now, and we're going to see what we can give him. Okay, so obviously Polmarc, I would love to have him. I mean, generally, I haven't really done this ever before. That's actually something that is... It's almost a criminal offense for me not to have leveled up any particular companion in a customized fashion, because if you think about it, that's kind of the reason why I haven't really formed any kind of emotional bond with these characters, with the exception of Pelisor, of course. But you know, obviously Pelisor is a fan favorite. I personally found him to be extremely fun. Anyway, we're going to be increasing his movement speed. I think movement speed is fantastic, and we're going to be going for that. And generally, I don't really think that decreasing armor weight for a companion is going to be that useful. I think that while on foot, his weapon handling being increased by 10% is probably going to be better. So I'm actually going to be taking that because I want him to have a really fast attack speed more than I want him to move fast, because companions are not, well, should we say AI in general, they're not really going to take advantage of that. Anyway, let's take a look here. What else do we have? Oh, these are all terrible. These are all terrible. Okay, I have no idea what to go for. Increase your prisoner size limit, I guess. I mean, that doesn't really make any difference. Anyway, now we have one-handed, and obviously he has a number of perks already which I could not choose, which is making me a little bit sad now, because I'm 100% assuming that he has chosen things that are not exactly great. Actually, no, he's chosen some things that are actually decent. Oh, he actually chose the perk that I would have chosen for him, which is the 2% swing speed perk. Very nice to see that. He did take Shield Bash, though. I mean, the increased version of it, or the improved version of it. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest, because I don't think the AI actually uses Shield Bash. I could be wrong about that, obviously, so, you know, do correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen the AI actually use that ever. Anyway, we're going to be giving him Fleet of Foot. As I say, they don't really use the combat speed to their advantage, but I don't really think it matters for Shield to take 10% less damage. I don't think that really has any bearing on things. Otherwise, we can increase his damage with one-handed weapons by 5%, or we can give him 5 hit points. I actually don't know about that. However, if we are going to be making him a captain, in other words, if we are in, you know, formations and things like that, then maybe if we make him a captain, this is going to make a big difference. So, for example, infantry troops in the formation he is leading have their melee weapon damage increased by 10%. That is actually a pretty significant damage increase. So I'm thinking we're probably going to take that. And there we have it. Okay, so let's have a look at Mr. Attalon here. Okay, so he has not leveled up yet. I'm actually kind of sad about that, because I would have liked him to have leveled up and gained some trade skill. I mean, he's already gained trade skill, as you can quite clearly tell, but I would have liked to have put some points into that with focus, and maybe increased his social skills as well, because, I mean, obviously that's going to make more sense. We are going to be taking Wholesaler here for him as a 50% decrease in sell price penalty for trade goods, and we are also going to be going for Party being able to carry 30% more weight. I actually don't know whether this is going to really make a big difference to a companion, but because he is obviously a trader, it makes sense, right? Makes sense. Otherwise, 5% movement speed bonus during nighttime, we're going to be taking that, and a regular, yeah, I guess, doesn't really matter either way, the athletics one. He does have 174 in polearms. That is definitely something I'm going to have to bear in mind. If he manages to survive for that long, I will give him the best polearm that money can buy. At least I hope so. Anyway, Let's get down to business by going into a tournament. I believe someone actually mentioned that if there are noble participants of these tournaments, the reward is sufficiently good. And I was wondering whether this was a typo or not, but you said that the reward can scale up to 300,000 gold. I'm not entirely sure if that was a typo or not, but I was just mind blown right there. I really had no idea what was going on there, but I can only hope that you're correct, because if you are, then that is going to be amazing. But I guess I'll just have to deal with what we are currently going to expect in this one. And I do have a lot of thrown weapons right here. This is nice. Oh, that was a nice hit as well. Can I kill this guy? Oh, no, I was very much hoping I'd be able to kill him, but never mind. Oh, nice headshot. Oh, no, it was just a shoulder shot. Just a shoulder shot. Nice. That was a good headshot. Okay, I hit the horse. Not exactly intended. Let's try and dodge this guy. Oh, there we go. He's dead. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm actually doing pretty well, considering. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, generally, my throwing skill is, well, lackluster, to say the least. But we are actually seemingly doing quite nicely. Okay, that was interesting. I was not anticipating that. Oh, now this. This is a nice pair of shoulder pads. Well, technically it's a cape, but yeah. I personally would count them to be shoulder pads. I think they're going to be pretty nice for us. Okay, Polmarc actually also made it to the next round, so I'm a little bit worried about that, because he's obviously pretty beastly with a one-handed, so if he's going to be attacking me with a one-handed, I can wholeheartedly assume he's going to be really, really dangerous. But he does have some pretty bad gear, because we generally haven't been able to outfit any of our people in good stuff. Oh yeah, that's actually him I'm fighting right now. Never mind, he did manage to get himself killed by us. I think he let me win, to be honest. I think he really did. I mean, he may be an absolute monster in, you know, actual combat, but maybe in the tournament he just doesn't care, you know? Maybe he doesn't care that much. Maybe he's just like, oh yes, I'll just let Barney win because, you know, X reason or another. Maybe because he likes us, you know? Maybe he likes us. Maybe that's what's going on. Anyway, let's see what I can do here. Yeah, my bow skill is absolutely awful. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. This is problematic. Okay, maybe not. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Oh, I can't believe I hit him. I really cannot believe I hit him. Okay, I'm just gonna strafe a little bit. Oh, I hit him in the face. Oh, can you believe it? Okay, strafe. There we go. Oh, I hit him in the face again. Can you believe that? I have no idea how that's happening. All right. Nice. That was a what? What? Wait a minute. Are you serious right now? That was a Palatine Guard? I can't even believe it. Okay, now that is pretty crazy, if I do say so myself. Usually, I would never assume a person with about 20 in bow skill would have been able to defeat a Palatine Guard in a 1 versus 1. Both of us using bows. Can you... Wow. The scope, the sheer scope of that is so incredible. I mean, the odds of me surviving against a Palatine Guard, really, really low, but there you go. We were able to achieve victory, amazingly enough. We still have all these looters, by the way. And I am actually going to start recruiting random units as well, because obviously, as I said at the very start, I'm not going to limit myself to using any particular troop at all in the entirety of the series, because I generally would like to just be overall strong. But I also want to make it so that our, you know, maybe our potential companions can have different units to command in battles and things like that. So, for example, Polmarc, I don't even know what his culture is, but let's say his culture is Empire. I think it's Vlandia, actually. I think he's Vlandian culture. But let's say that we have some Vlandian troops. I can actually have him command those troops. So, for example, if I use Vlandian sharpshooters, then he's going to have some crossbow perks, and those crossbow perks are obviously going to assist them in being the strongest that they possibly can. Anyway, let's take a look here. We have our first bow perks. So, decrease your bow accuracy loss due to movement by 30% might be pretty good, or increasing your headshot damage bonus by 30%. Alright, I personally like the bow accuracy loss due to movement being reduced. I like that quite a bit, so I'm actually going to be taking that. And we also reached 125 with one-handed, if you can believe it. That's pretty nice. Alright, we're going to be going for larger shield protection area against projectiles, even if I end up not using a shield, or maybe I do, maybe I don't know really at the moment. Someone actually mentioned in the comments that maybe it would be an idea to not use a sword, but to use a different kind of weapon. And I'm thinking, hey, you know what? That actually is a good point, because let's face it, the sword and bow and quivers and all that stuff, that is a very standardized loadout for a lot of different characters that people have created. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, it's a very popular choice, because these things, they are tried and tested. They are very effective, you know, and that's the reason why people, you know, generally tend to choose to use those kinds of setups. However, I'm thinking maybe what would be kind of cool is if we could maybe use a dagger or a knife or something along those lines. I think someone actually did suggest something like that, so I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll do that, because then we're kind of like we're not really a duelist, so to speak, but we're more like an assassin or something like that. I mean, obviously, I would assume an assassin would probably use dual wield, but obviously there's no dual wield in the game, so that kind of, you know, puts pay to that, I suppose. But what I'm trying to say is, I think that might be kind of fun. I don't know whether I can block with a knife, though. That's the only thing, and I'm not even entirely sure if I can even get a knife. I mean, it might be slightly difficult, you know, to acquire one, but I'm willing to give it a go. So let me actually just take a quick look here. Okay, so we've got a sickle. Might be kind of fun to use a sickle, but it is an axe, and I'm not entirely sure if we really have a good enough good enough amount of perks to use that. I don't know whether it really matters, to be fair. Probably does not. Okay, so let's just sort by value, and we're going to see whether we can get something here. I mean, you can see that there aren't any, well, daggers or knives, so to speak. I'm actually wondering, is there anything in the blacksmith? Let me take a quick look. Okay, so, how do we do this again? It's been a while, yes. It's been a while. Ah, look, we actually have the dagger. We actually have daggers available. Okay, so this is actually really cool. Okay, so I'm going to need to do something about this. I have no idea how to unlock dagger parts, but I can actually create a dagger. So this could actually make things much more difficult for me, and I know some people have been asking me to make it harder, so hey, you know what? I'm going to make it harder on myself in this way, at least, and we're going to see how it goes. If I do end up being absolutely just, you know, terrible with this weapon, then I will probably switch back to using something else, at least for the moment, until I'm able to make a much better weapon of some kind. Anyway, I am going to buy some... Oh, no, I'm not going to buy some cheese. That's way too expensive, in my opinion. There is another tournament going on here. I'm not entirely sure if I even want to do it. Speaking of that, we do actually have this, and I can now equip that. That is going to give me so much more armor, which is really fantastic. Oh, yeah, someone also mentioned, and I forgot to do before I started this episode, the auto-equip mod. The best auto-equip mod is updated for 1.7.0. And that actually means a whole bunch to me, because that's going to make everything so much easier to equip. It's going to make my companions so much easier to work with, and generally it's going to make everything so simple and efficient. So I'm probably going to see if I can download that in between episodes, and hopefully, you know, hopefully it's going to integrate rather nicely into what we've got going on here. Okay, so basically what I'm doing right now is I'm attempting to try and find some hardwood. It does... For some reason, there isn't any. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. Is it because it's the desert? Maybe it's because it's the desert and they don't really have any trees around here. That could be the case, but I guess it does give me an opportunity to try and recruit more and more units. I'd like to do more fighting, to be honest. There's a big troop stack down there. Okay, let's do something about that, shall we? A lot of looters. Bear in mind that we do have our companions. Oh yeah, we also leveled up as well. Okay, so yeah, obviously I do have that mod that gives caravans the ability to earn me trade skill. So I'm going to be leveling up trade as well, but maybe not at the moment. I'm actually not entirely sure whether I will do that or whether I'll level up something else like steward skill, for example. I think I'll level up steward skill a little bit more, and then we'll level up social. And then we're going to be getting a 15% decrease in sell price penalty for equipment, because obviously I'm not going to actively be trading. It is just going to be a passive gain from the various caravans that we have running at the moment. Okay, here we go. This is the kind of fight I have wanted for a very long time, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so, oh, someone mentioned something actually. Yes, here we go. Oh, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for letting me know about this, by the way, because this was something that I did not show off in the previous episode, and I actually wanted to show you all of the features of this particular, well, feature. Yes, I'm very good with words, apparently. Anyway, so if you hold Alt on a companion when they are leading one of your bands of units, so for example Polmarc is leading these infantry, you can see exactly what kind of benefits he is providing to them, which in my opinion is absolutely amazing, because you can see here he is providing so many bonuses to the infantry. It is just insanity. I mean, look at this. Increases their movement speed, their melee weapon damage, their handling, their damage reduction if they're in shield wall formation. They also move faster many times over. So that is really cool. And on the other hand, they're not really going to be provided much else, because you can see here, if we give him leadership over the ranged, it's just movement speed, and that's it. But I'm very pleased to see that that is indeed the case. Look at this. Give preference to troops with heavy armor. Give preference to troops with thrown weapons. Give preference to troops with... What does that mean? I have no idea what that means, actually. I have no idea what this little plus icon means. Give preference to troops with heavy armor. I really have no idea. What preference? I don't know. I don't know what kind of preference, but oh well, never mind. Okay. Maybe someone can tell me. But anyway, I actually quite like the slow motion effect. I think the slow motion effect is actually pretty fun. And generally... I don't know, I've seen a couple of people say that they don't really like it, but others have also said that they do enjoy using it. And personally, I like it, because as I say, it kind of adds that little bit of, I mean, it's not really cinematic, I suppose. I mean, it is cinematic inherently, you know, obviously slow motion is inherently cinematic, and you're going to see some pretty cool, you know, pretty cool moments as a result of that. But if you want cinematic, it's probably better to download some other mod that does that in actual, you know, combat and things like that. But usefulness, the usefulness of this particular slow motion effect is not to be underestimated, in my opinion. I think it really makes a huge difference. Anyway, I'm gonna just basically do as much damage as I can without sending my units in, because I have a feeling that we're probably gonna beat these guys super fast. So I'm just gonna send the cavalry in for the most part, and I'm just gonna try and level up as much as I possibly can. That's pretty much all this is really for at the moment, because I'd like to get to 150 one-handed if I can, and maybe we're gonna be able to gain a bunch of loot in the process as well, because obviously loot, you know, more specifically hardwood, is very important to me right now, and I would love to be able to gain some. Maybe I can get some more athletic skill as well while I'm doing this. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, so we can now tell our forces just to charge in, even though they're yeah, they're just going to run away. It's not really going to... We're not really going to get anything from that. But there you go. I was actually able to eliminate... Well, really? Only 12? I actually thought I killed more than that, but okay. You know, it's just... It's such a classic, isn't it? It's such a classic feeling where you're in a battle and you think to yourself, oh, look at that. I've just you know, murdered 5, 6, 7 people. And then all of a sudden you're seeing your enemies driven before you and you think, oh, I've destroyed countless lives, 50 plus at least. And then it says at the end that you killed 12. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. All right, so we're going to upgrade our forces once again, and I have a little bit more space for some looters, so I'm pretty happy with that. Are we going to be getting any... No, we are not going to be getting anything wonderful. Well, the loot is obviously wonderful, but we are not going to be gaining any wood, which is definitely a bit of a problem. It seems like I'm going to have to go somewhere else to get wood, or maybe we're just going to have to get lucky with a town that generally has... maybe a caravan that has stopped by or something like that, and they had an abundance of hardwood or something. Because it seems like, to me, the Azurai really do not have any hardwood whatsoever. Unless I have missed it? I surely haven't, right? I surely haven't. That can't be the case. I can't be that awful at seeing things, surely. Okay, well, there is another companion here. She's actually not bad. She's got a decent trait at the very least. But apart from that, actually, she's not bad. She's got decent one-handed skill, decent throwing skill, and her riding skill is actually okay as well. I don't want her to be a rider though, that is the thing. I would actually prefer most of my companions to be on foot. But I am going to need someone that is a cavalry person, obviously, because if we want to have one person that's doing the ranged, I'm hoping that Polmarc is actually going to be doing the ranged, because he has, you know, a whole bunch of crossbow perks that could be kind of useful for him. But I don't know whether he has chosen those, you see, because he's already at 180 crossbow proficiency. So I'm actually going to see, I'm going to take her, okay? We're going to take her, and we're going to see what she's all about. And hopefully she's going to be somewhat good for us. And we have a caravan ambush. Okay, this is perfect. Caravan ambush is one of my favorite tasks to do. It's super, super good. She's injured for some reason. That's a good start. Oh, yes, that is a wonderful start. Okay, so let's actually just take a quick look here. Let's just give her a makeshift shield. And then we're going to give her a whole bunch of other things as well. She really has terrible gear, doesn't she? Okay, let's just sort by value here real fast so that we can find the best possible stuff for her. Usually price is what you want to look at in that regard. That's the reason why I want to install that, you know, best auto equip mod. And thank you, by the way, for letting me know that it has been updated, because it's been a long time since it was updated and it was causing crashes for me beforehand. So it's going to be kind of nice to get back to that. As it is super useful. It really is super useful. Okay, so I actually don't have a horse for her at the moment. These horses are just way too slow for her, in my opinion, and they're just going to end up being a liability. Otherwise, we can give her a new sword, and I will exactly do that. There we go. All right, so she's going to do that, and we're going to take the Caravan Ambush quest. Hopefully, I'm going to be even able to do that, to be fair. I might not even be able to do it. So, no, it seems like I can. Okay. So, yes, let's do it. Alright, so Caravan Ambush is not the same as escorting the caravan, because obviously escorting the caravan means that you need to be right next to them, you need to follow them very, very closely, but a Caravan Ambush is a little bit different, where you have to allow the enemy to attack the caravan, and then you swoop in and you try and save as many people as possible. That's basically what you've got to try and do. Wait a minute. Yes. Exactly. I forgot about this. We actually did level up once again, and I do have 2 perks to spend as well. So Athletics increases your damage by 4% with all melee weapons, and troops in your formation deal 2% more melee damage. Or with no shields and ranged weapons wielded, you gain 5% movement speed. Okay, so obviously if I wanted to be playing like a really fast duelist kind of character, I would probably take Sprint. But as we are most likely going to be using a bow, this is not going to work. So I'm going to be taking powerful instead, which is just going to increase my melee damage. And then in the one-handed tree, what do we have? Infantry in your party gain an additional 10% of the total XP earned after battles. Alright. And we also have infantry troops gain 2 experience. Oh dear. Why do they do this? Okay, I'm gonna take this one, I guess. Infantry in your party gain an additional 10% of the total XP after battles. Don't get me wrong, I think this is a good perk. I just think the alternative is pretty awful. 2 experience daily. I mean, if you look at how much experience we need to level, and I'm not talking about we ourselves, I'm not talking about our character here, I'm talking about the regular units. Because if you actually go and you see what's going on there, it's so... Oh, it is pretty, yeah, it is pretty awful. Okay, so I'm actually going to level up smithing right here, and we're going to continue to level up social, because I would like to try and level up charm and trade, and eventually leadership as well. And that seems pretty good. Okay, do we have anyone else that needs to level up? I'm needing to check that now. Yes, I am needing to check that. I really want to make sure that we stay on top of all of that, because if they, you know, actually graduate to using really good perks and everything, we obviously want to make sure that they are in the best possible condition. Alright, here we go. Desert. Wow, okay, this is gonna be super good. If we can finally find the manual laborer quest and I'm able to take a whole bunch of these desert bandits prisoner, I am going to be swimming in cash, and we are going to be able to outfit all of our friends in some really amazing stuff. At least I hope so. Alright, so Lundana right here. She is not mounted, and we are not mounted. Okay, well that makes... yeah, that is pretty awful, isn't it? Okay, does she have any skills that are actually going to help out the ranged? Actually not bad. Actually not bad. You can see that right there. Okay, well, I mean, I only have 1 archer. Which I find hilarious, to be honest. I mean, literally, we only have 1 archer. I'm kind of surprised that we only have 1, but I guess I shouldn't be, considering I have set up my auto-upgrading to basically be all infantry. Because I felt like, you know what, it's probably a better idea to go for infantry, considering if I'm going to be going for Vlandian ranged units, in the form of Vlandian sharpshooters, of course, then it makes all the sense in the world. Okay, I'm going to tell my footmen to charge in right here, going to tell the cavalry to charge, and we'll tell the 1 bowman to stand at the back, I guess. Or do we have 2 of those? I'm actually not entirely sure. Ooh, I'm really not used to the mace having such a low reach. I mean, that's the point. I'm gonna... yeah, speaking of low reach, I am going to have to deal with that if I'm using a knife. Just think about that for a real quick second, you know, because if I'm using a knife, the reach on that thing is literally going to be about 40 or 50, which is, well, very low. It is going to be very, very low. But I'm up for the challenge, you know. I'm up for the challenge because while I am, you know, well, I am definitely not the best fighter in the world. I think it might be kind of fun. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm actually going to start leveling up some ranged units. Let me actually just take a quick look here. Okay. Wait a minute. Tribesmen. Okay, so the tribesmen are the ones that need to level up to the ranged units. Okay, let's just do that. There we go. Okay, yeah, so the tribesmen, and we might as well go for Imperial Archers with the Imperial recruits that I recruited beforehand. And there we have it. Okay, so we have 16 prisoners right here. So I'm basically just going to put my looters back here, and then we'll just take everyone else. And there you go. Now we've maxed out the amount of prisoners we have. And... well, there's nothing much else to do here. Ooh, that is a nice horse. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with this. That means that Lundana can finally get a horse. And we're going to be giving her one of these saddles. And after all, she does have a very good riding skill. Okay, so unfortunately... Oh, this is a bow for me. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, well, as I was going to say, unfortunately, we do not have... do we have a good polearm for her, actually? I think we might. Yeah, there we go. This is a pretty good one. It's not a couch lanceable one, though, which is somewhat unfortunate, but this is pretty good for her. And you can see here that she actually does have polearm skill, so it makes sense, right? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Anyway, we are going to now be giving ourselves a splintered hunting bow and some splintered arrows. Obviously, this is pretty awful, and the accuracy is terrible, and, well, generally, it is leaving a lot to be desired, but yeah, it's gonna have to do for the moment. And there's another 1,000 gold for us. Not too bad, not too bad. We did get some relation as well, and my steward skill is about to level up to 100, which is actually not bad at all. I'm wondering where the hardwood is, because how do how do Azurai blacksmiths work around this? It seems like we do have some hardwood here. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to buy all of it. Yes, I will be buying all of it. And now we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so I'm just going to increase my smithing skill just a little bit, and then we're going to smelt some stuff. Okay, so obviously, now bear in mind, Chaos's Tweaks, alright? Chaos's Tweaks, one of the best mods, in my opinion, for general, well, modifications, general changes in what you want it to do. And you can disable this if you want to, but I personally find it very efficient, and I find it a lot of fun to be able to smelt things down and then to gain and indeed unlock parts as a result of smelting these down. So for example, if I smelt this sword right here, we're going to get 4 new parts, which I very much appreciate, because bear in mind, it's going to take me a long time to unlock all the parts anyway, and I've had this mod installed for a very long time, and I've always kind of done a little bit of smithing every single time, and it still takes me, well, I mean, I'm actually unable to unlock all of the parts that are available even by the end of the series. So that kind of just shows how many parts there actually are in the game to unlock, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, we're just going to basically be smelting as much stuff as we can. Oh, there we go. I'm going to need to do this a little bit now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for smithing 25, and then I'm actually just going to very quickly get the efficient charcoal maker. Efficient charcoal maker, one of the best things ever. And there are a number, by the way, a number of smithing mods out there that I'd highly recommend getting. Maybe not the one that I'm using right here. The one that I'm using is called Smith Forever, and this is a very old mod actually. I believe it was updated months and months ago, so it's not even for this game version, but it still works because it is a very simple XML change to the game files. It doesn't do anything invasive, and it basically just makes it so that your energy is unlimited. Actually, that could be a Chaos's Tweaks thing as well, by the way. So just check the smithing category there if you're interested, because generally I feel like I don't want to be waiting around. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be waiting around. That's pretty much it. Anyway, let's see if I can get a couple more parts right here. Here we go. There's a dagger. Fantastic. There's a dagger right there. So I'm going to be able to gain some new parts for potential daggers, and then we're going to be able to forge something. So let me see. No, not the orders, thank you. Okay, yes, look at that. 10 parts now. And we also have one of these, which is a really good grip, and you can see that we are already up to using steel, which is pretty crazy. Okay, so the dagger itself. Okay, here we go. This is looking pretty nice. Okay, can I get any more steel? I can't get any more steel. That's actually really unfortunate. I might be able to level up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smelt a bunch. We're gonna try and level up my smithing skill as much as I possibly can. So we're just gonna basically smelt every single thing in my inventory right now, and we are then just gonna be getting that charcoal. I'm gonna be attempting to get 50. There we go. There's 50 smithing. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do Steelmaker. There we go. Fantastic. Super, super good perk to take early on if you don't have a lot of access to weapons that can smelt down into steel. This is really, really useful. So now what we can do is we can go to the refining stage and we can get some more steel, as you can see right there. So that's really nice. And now what I can do is I can go over to the dagger and we can get the tier 3 blade. And now this is basically one of the better blades because as far as I'm aware it has a much longer blade in comparison to the other one. You can see here it's 39 length, the one that we would have otherwise had, and this is 47. So it's a pretty significant increase, even though it's relatively minor anyway, but it's really going to make a pretty big difference. At least I think so. Alright, let me see. Tier 4. The difficulty of this is 150. Yes, because of this grip right here. Because of this grip. Okay, so I probably won't be able to get that then. The difficulty is 120? Are you serious? Okay. We might as well just go for a massive difficulty dagger then. Eh? Let's just go for a massive difficulty. Let's increase this so that the reach is a little bit more. And then we're just going to go for this. It's going to cost me 2 steel. I actually don't know whether I even want to do that, to be honest. Maybe maybe we just want to create 3 of them and then just take the best one and use that. That sounds like a good idea. All right, let's try it. We're going to get a whole bunch of... yeah, a whole bunch of these. Yes, a whole bunch of stat disadvantages. Okay, yeah, sell this. That is pretty terrible. Did I not gain any smithing skill at all for that? Why not? Surely I should have gained some, no? I mean... even if it's a fail, it should give me a little bit. Okay, apparently not. Okay, well this is a little better, right? Stabby better. Stabby better, yes, indeed. There we go. We did gain a little bit of... a little bit of skill. Yeah, terrible, terrible. Okay, let me see. This was pretty awful as well. Okay, I don't even know whether I'm going to be able to kill anything with this thing, to be honest. Okay, so maybe? I mean, it's pretty awful, right? It's pretty awful. Okay, so this is a little better, but I'm still not holding out that much hope for it, to be honest. Oh dear. Okay, well, what if I do this? Okay, that's a little better. Okay, let's make this, and then we'll see what the stats are like. Okay, we still lost massive amounts of cutting damage right there. Amazingly enough. Okay. Slashy. There we go. And we did not get any skill for that whatsoever. Apparently daggers really do not give you any skill, which is actually kind of sad, to be honest, but oh well. Okay, so let's have a look here. Obviously, if you take a look at the price, this is actually the most expensive one for some reason. I have no idea why that is indeed the case. Because to me, this looks worse than maybe, and Stabby better is, in my opinion, the best? I think it looks to be the best, yeah. I think Stabby better is the best, right? Am I wrong about that? No, I think Stabby better is the best. So we're going to be using a knife. Yeah, if you can believe that, we're going to be using a knife. This is a heavy horseman's mace. Maybe I want to give that to someone else. Maybe I want to give that to Polmarc, because he's currently using a rusty iron arming sword, which is pretty awful for him. And he actually doesn't even have any gloves, if you can believe that. So I should probably give him some gloves, shouldn't I? Not entirely sure why he didn't have some to begin with, to be honest. I'm apparently dropping the ball in giving him gear for some reason. I don't know why that is, but there you go. Okay, so now we can continue onward. Thankfully, we now have our smithing skill a little bit leveled up. Obviously, not not as much as I would have liked, considering my the rather amusing nature of creating daggers and then basically giving you no skill to create them. Really not entirely sure why that was the case, but okay. I mean, they're not exactly the most challenging to create, but I would have assumed the one with 150 difficulty would have been a bit difficult. You know, so difficult that it would have given me a little bit of skill. But apparently it didn't. Very strange. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so we're going to go over to this village right here, because this place is very, very good for their manual laborer quest. Oh, wait a minute. They need draft animals. That's actually kind of sad. You know what? I'm actually thinking that we're just going to sell all of the prisoners that we have in the tavern as we make our way over to Vlandian territory. I think that's probably where we're going to go next. Anyway, I'm going to level up probably my steward skill, right? Probably my steward skill. Okay, yeah, paid in promise. This is fantastic. Discarded armor can be donated to troops for increased experience. Yep, I'm going to take that every single time. Thank you. And we're also going to be increasing, well, what else? I mean, charm skill's really good. Trade skill's really good. I guess we'll go for trade skill, and we'll continue to level up our social. There we go. You know, I kind of wish there would be a couple of perks to increase. I'm going to sell the prisoners now. But yeah, I wish there would be a couple of perks to increase your proficiency with daggers. I mean, I know that sounds very niche, right? It's extremely niche because, I mean, who's going to use a dagger, right? I mean, barely anyone's going to use a dagger, so it's probably not the best idea. But what about roguery skill, eh? What about roguery skill? Because what if you're using a dagger as a bandit? It kind of makes sense, right? Or at least I think it kind of makes sense. Because if you think about the more classic, shall we say, representation of a class that uses daggers, then you think about rogue, right? You think about rogue, you think about infiltrators, you think about, you know, stealthy characters, assassins and things like that. They're the ones that always use daggers. So it would make sense that these kinds of perks would be in the roguery tree. But that's not the case. Ooh, this is actually something I've not done in a very long time, which is to find this guy's daughter. I was going to say to find his wife, but no. No. It's his daughter. Or both. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go over here and see. Search the village? Oh, I went to the right. I went to the right one almost immediately. Okay, this is unheard of. Okay, let me actually just have a look here. Okay, so wait a minute. They've changed the. They've actually. Oh, that's cool. Okay, they actually changed the UI on this. So basically, they show you, hey, there's people over there. That you can interact with, I guess. And then these guys over in this direction. Can I speed? Oh, I can actually speed this up. Oh, that's fantastic. Anyway, yeah, so there are people over here to do with a quest. I can't imagine how long it would actually take you to get over here if you didn't have the super speed mod, which I highly recommend. I certainly do. Okay, hello there. Yep, that is her. Who are you? Are you one of the bounty hunters sent by Jeramus of Lycia to track us, like we're animals or something? Look, friend, we've done nothing wrong. As you may have figured out already, this woman and I, we love each other. I didn't force her to do anything. He is right. I ran away with him willingly. I love my father, but he can be such a tyrant. Please, sir, if you believe in freedom and love, please leave us be. Well, how do I know he's not forcing you to say that? Alright, well, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Me personally, I'd probably just leave them alone because it's not really my business to, you know, interfere here, but I've been hired to do a job, so I'm gonna see what we can do. So, 50% chance. Ooh, okay. I was hopeful for the 50% critical success right there. Okay, we are never going to be able to do this, unfortunately. I find it absolutely hilarious, by the way, that this guy on the right is consistently looking towards whoever is speaking. So basically what's going to happen is when it's my turn to speak again, you just watch him. He's going to turn back to face me like on a dime. He's going to turn on a dime right there, like super fast. Just watch this. I find that hilarious. Okay, so 21% chance. Oh, it actually worked. Okay, I had no idea. I had no idea that was going to work. I really thought to myself, wait a minute. Did I succeed? You're right, sir. I should be moving. Okay. I did actually succeed. I was actually looking forward to using my dagger. Look at this. Look at how fast this is. This is super fun to use. I mean, maybe it's going to be super fun. Maybe it's going to be super awful. But I guess we'll try it out. Anyway, there we go. We gained a little bit of charm skill from that. And we also gained a little bit of money, which is always nice. Alright, so let me actually just take a quick look at our companions real quick. I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything. This guy really needs to level up. Unfortunately, he's not really gaining anything. He's not gaining medicine skill. He's gaining a little bit of leadership. But the thing that I want him to mainly gain is obviously trade. And it's taking him way too long to gain that, unfortunately. What about this guy? What does he have? He has a bunch of medicine skill. This guy could be kind of useful. But I'm kind of looking for a trader at the moment. I'd like to have another trader to take another caravan over so we could potentially get a number of caravans running. Because you can see here, my guy, Mr. Attilon the Boar, he's doing a very good job, as you can see. He's actually making a lot of money. He's making us 643, and obviously our main party wages are causing us to spend quite a lot. But generally, our net profit is pretty good, you know? I feel like it's quite nice. Anyway, I'm going to go into another tournament here. I don't know whether there are any nobles here. I don't think there are any, which is kind of sad. Wow, there's actually a lot of named units in here as well. And this helmet might be pretty good. The helmet might be quite nice. Okay, I've got to be a bit careful here. Gotta be a bit careful. I'm not a polearm user by any means, and it shows. It shows. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, that was a nice... Oh, yeah, that was a nice bit of damage right there. 121 damage. Considering I am literally running around with 35 polearm skill, I feel like we're doing quite nicely. I don't know whether you could notice what I was attempting to do there, but I was actually trying to get a thrown weapon from the ground. I'm actually not even entirely sure whether you can pick up thrown weapons from the ground when you're on a horse, unless you have a specific perk. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but I believe I remember seeing something along those lines where you actually would need a perk to be able to do that. I could be incorrect about that, so don't quote me on it, but generally I think that might be the case. Okay. Well, I got wrecked by Mr. Polmarc. What a beast. What an absolute beast. Okay, you know what? We're going to stay in the tournament. I mean, obviously, you know, we've been disqualified, you know, Barney specifically. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow Polmarc, and we're going to see if he can beat Varmiros right here. So let's see. I'm going to watch the round, and we're going to see what happens, because I'm super interested. He's going to lose this 100%. What do you bet? Oh my... He killed him instant. How is this guy able to deal so much damage? What? How did he do that? I have no idea. Okay, he's up against an Imperial Legionary now. Let's see. He's wearing a robe. He's wearing a robe. Come on. Do these... Wait a minute. Do these guys literally have 0 HP or something? Do they literally have no HP? Oh my. And you know what's really funny about this? Because he was able to win this, we gain the renown from this, and we also gain what else did we gain? We also gained the actual the reward, right? Yeah, I believe we did. So we gained the helmet too. I can't even believe how crazy that guy is. He literally was able to win that battle in one hit, basically. He literally won each one of those in one hit. That is crazy. I have no idea how he was able to do that, but he did it. Against all odds, pretty much. Yeah. That was... that was very impressive, Mr. Polmarc. You are building your legend, sir. Wow. What a crazy guy. What a crazy guy. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on, and we'll see what else we can do. Okay, so these guys need some tools, no less. I have actually leveled up my clan tier, so we are now clan tier 2, which is pretty nice. And I would like to be able to... Yes, okay. I think what we're going to do next... I will go into Vlandian territory, because as I said, I would like to be able to get a whole bunch of crossbows, and indeed, I mean, I'm talking about crossbowmen here, and I would also love to be able to buy a crossbow, because buying a crossbow and giving that to Polmarc, considering he is a crossbowman, probably make the most sense ever, wouldn't it? Yes, it would probably make the most sense. Okay, so let me see. Let me see if I can get one for him. Let's see here. Okay, so we got an arbalest. Okay, so technically, oh yeah, he could use this. This is actually kind of insane. I think this is one of the better ones, but a bound crossbow would probably be the best if I could find that, but I don't think I can find it. So I'm just gonna buy him this. This is expensive. States the obvious. Yes, indeed. This is actually more expensive than I anticipated, but I really want to buy him the light bolts because they give him 5 piercing damage, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not even going to be able to buy him the heavy bolts. Can I buy him regular bolts? Yeah, I can buy him regular bolts. God, this makes me feel bad now, Makes me feel bad for literally not being able to afford to get him the better stuff, but I mean, at the moment, I don't really want to be, spending all of my money pretty much on one purchase. That is just that's just silly, right? That's just a bit silly. So we're not going to do that for now. But yeah, now he has a crossbow. Now he has a crossbow, and hopefully he's going to do a very good job with it. Anyway, I'm actually just going to wait a little bit of time, and then we're going to go into the tournament. There is a noble here. Yes, look at this. Apparently there is one noble present in the city who plans to enter the tournament. Given this turnout, the organizers are offering a segmented Chevalier over mail for the victor. I have no idea what that is. It's a helmet. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I am 100% believing that I will probably get murdered instantly by Polmarc again. What do you bet? Or Lundana, apparently, is doing massive damage as well. What? Okay, wait a minute. I've got to be super careful here. Polmarc has nothing in polearms, but I can 100% assume that he's probably going to kill me instantly. Take that, Polmarc. Get out of here. Get out of here, sir. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Can I... I'm worried about this. Oh, that was bad timing on my part. Oh, the Vlandian crossbowman. Can you survive? Could you actually... Oh no. Oh, we hit. Wait, maybe I can... Okay, you know what? Tree, be my shield. Okay, I hit. I hit from over there. No. Oh, nice. We killed that guy. Medicine Man. And... Oh, Ingaltha. That's Ingaltha himself. He has good... Oh, he has good crossbow skill, because he's a lord, of course. Oh. Well, I got murdered. Yes, indeed. I really need to get some better gear, don't I? Yes, I really need to get some better gear. Okay. Well, whatever the case, let's watch Polmarc and Lundana, because we can still win, technically. We can still win by proxy. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get the money, but I will be able to earn the other things. So let's watch the round and see what happens. I have no idea who's who. Okay, Lundana is in yellow, and Polmarc is in green. Okay, they're fighting two different opponents right now. I'm going to stay with Lundana at the moment. Oh, Polmarc's actually helping her. Look at that. Oh. Oh, and then Lundana killed him. Well, that is pretty funny. I gotta say, that is pretty funny. Okay, so now the other companion has gotten on a horse, and he is now laying in a pursuit course for Lundana here. Okay, come on, Lundana, you can do this. You're an absolute monster. Just like Polmarc for some reason. All of these companions with their relatively high weapon skills are apparently pretty exceptional. So there you go, they're able to do some pretty nice damage. Alright, so yeah, once again, let's just watch the round, let's see. Okay, so Lundana is, okay, they're not using polearms this time, but they are using one-handed, and she's good at using one-handed anyway, so... Oh, don't die! Oh no, she got murdered! Oh, we lost. We lost because Lundana died early on. That is the only reason why that happened. Oh well, never mind. We were unable to do anything there, and we did not receive any reward, which is sad. Very sad indeed. I'm going to pay the bribe right here because I want to see what... Ooh, this is new. Okay, I don't know what this means. What is this? A lord is looking for someone to collect back rents that he says are owed to him. Okay. I don't really like Ingalther, to be honest. I think Ingalther is a bit of a... I don't know, he's a bit of an unscrupulous individual, and I'm not a big fan of him at all. But I am going to see what we can do here. Alright, let's just keep it simple. I would take 1,128 dinars, and you can keep whatever else you can squeeze out of them. Are you interested? Okay, I will visit your villages. You're acting in my name now. Try to be polite, but you have every right to use force if they don't cough up what's owed. Good luck. Okay, sure. Well, now I've got... See, I mean, that's the point. I've got to find him after this as well. What a pain. What a pain, right? Okay, so I have some trade skill right here. I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for workshops that have 20% less upkeep, because I will probably be getting a couple of workshops. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, collect revenue. So this is basically the tax collection quest from Warband, if you remember that. And we might get attacked. That's the issue here. We might get attacked. So let's see what happens. Just going to speed things up real quick. Okay, so wait a minute. The headman tells you that most of the villagers can't afford the rest of the tax. They offer crops and other goods as payment in kind. Okay, so... In the original task in Warband, you could basically be attacked, or you could, I think you could refuse. I'm actually not, you know, now I can't remember, to be honest. Never mind. Okay, refuse the offer, break into their homes, and collect all rents and taxes by force. Okay, they will give me 11 barrels of olives. Well, that's not really very good. I'm going to refuse the honor. Yes, I am going to refuse the honor, apparently, because they really do not like me. I mean, this doesn't feel good. Absolutely not. But it is something that we agreed to do for one of the nobles. And technically, we are acting in his name. And as I said, he's not a very nice man. He's not very nice. Not at all. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, so these guys... Okay, they don't really mind us at the moment. Okay, so let's have a look. Are they... Oh, we're collecting so much from this one. As your man... should we say, as your men were collecting the tax, the headman shouted out to you across the fields that there has been an outbreak of the flux in the village. Okay... Tell your men to be careful and to touch nothing in a house where anyone has been sick. I I'm gonna say that he's probably lying. Let's see. Let's call his bluff, eh? Should we call his bluff? You know, if I end up losing half my troops now, that would be kind of amusing. But no, it seems as though he was indeed lying. And we have now collected everything, I believe. So let's go on back to Mr. Ingaltha. Hopefully I don't have to bribe. No, I don't have to bribe again to get back in here. And here we go. Maybe I should keep this to myself. I'm just going to give him his share because I'd like the skill points. I'm not entirely sure what the other option does. I don't really want to get on his bad side for the moment. Yes, you heard right. For the moment. Oh yes, for the moment. Later on, we will take our revenge against him for forcing us into a situation like this. Anyway, let's try and murder some looters. Why not? And this is going to give me a good opportunity to actually finally try out, shall we say, my wonderful dagger that I created. It's such an amazing dagger that I cannot believe I get to wield it. It is one of those daggers that everyone wants to wield. It's just so good. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's actually going to be much better than I anticipate, right? Maybe it's going to be better. Anyway, I'm going to tell everyone to charge in because I want all of my forces to get over to the... Actually, you know what? It's just bandits, right? It's just bandits. These guys, well, they basically have as much power as some soggy toast, right? I mean, they really don't have that much. Okay, so we're just going to wait until they go into the water. I mean, we don't even need to use this strategy, to be honest, against them. I mean, they're really not going to put up that much of a fight, but it might be kind of cool to see a couple of our archers fire away here. Oh, speaking of archers, I should probably use my bow. Nice. Okay, 2 skill... Really? Just 2 skill points? I was actually hoping for a little bit more than that. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, that was not the best showing, let's just say that. Literally doing 15 damage. Ooh, that was a nice hit though. I like that. Okay, that was a nice headshot, and we also increased our bow skill to 50, which is actually pretty nice because that means I'll be able to get the next perk. Okay, very good. We can level up our forces, very nice. And you see that error? Did you see that error right there? Apparently it's gone now. Okay, well, there seems to be like a party screen enhancements error of some kind. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Anyway, decrease the penalty to movement speed for reloading by 50%, or your attacks with bows ignore 10% of the enemy's armor. I'm going to take that one. Charm skill is increased as well. 20% chance to avoid persuasion, critical failure. I don't really care about that too much, but I would like meaningful favors, which is a 10% better chance for double persuasion success. However, as I said before in the previous episode, the developers have actually worked on the charm perks and their secondary effects. So some of these have been changed. So, for example, this one, 5% chance per day to increase relations with a random NPC of negative relations with you within the settlement. I think you can kind of tell from my silence that I'm a little bit confused by what this means, but I feel like it is way too specific, way too specialized for it to actually be anything useful. And on top of the fact that this is a random NPC of negative relations, so if you're a 0 or better, then it's not going to do anything for you. And you have to be within the settlement, so you have to be waiting within a settlement, is that right? I'm not entirely sure. But you also have only a 5% chance per day. So it basically means nothing. That's probably one of the worst perks I've seen, which is kind of strange because I actually felt like most of the perks that they have reworked have been absolutely amazing and very, very useful. But anyway, let's take a look at this one instead. Relations with powerful settlement NPCs improve over time. That is probably one of the most powerful perks I've ever seen. So we're going to be taking that one. There you go. That sounds pretty good to me. Okay, let's take a look at some of our other people. Lundana has advanced in her polearm skill. When you hit an enemy in the head with a polearm, you deal 50% more damage. Like she needs that. Your couch lance now has a 30% chance to stay couched. Okay, we're going to take the other one because experience gain of garrisoned cavalry. I mean, she might be the leader of her own clan in the future, so it might make sense for us to go for something like that. Anyway, I guess that seems kind of good. And Polmarc has actually leveled up his polearm skill as well. Increase your damage by 2% with polearms when mounted. No, he's usually not going to be mounted, so we're going to be going for the infantry troops as well, because he's generally going to be, you know, commanding infantry troops for the most part. Anyway, I think that's actually going to be it for this episode. Once again, I got a little bit carried away, but I hope that you are enjoying the slightly, well, I say slightly longer episodes, but they are quite a bit longer than normal. But I hope you are enjoying that, and maybe we'll keep that format. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, next episode, I'm going to try and get another caravan. I've been attempting to find a companion that has trade skill, but apparently that's really difficult. I'm not entirely sure why that's so difficult, but hopefully Atalon is going to continue to do a very good job. Amusingly enough, he's actually making very good money, considering he doesn't even have a very good trade skill. So I can only imagine what it would be like if someone actually had a decent level of trade and was made into a caravan leader. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.